Oh, we're live. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out who's where. So there's five people who are in wherever you guys are in the storybook. Prax is at the main castle. Bedin, DeHaas, Casey, and Wagner are in the swamp, correct? Krim is still on the ship. All right, okay. Let's see. Where do I want to go then? Well, everything's going to be theater of the mind today because obviously I don't have any of this. So inside, so we're gonna head to the swamp first. It is becoming nighttime in the swamp. You've been traveling most of the day, from the Quaggins village further into the swamp. The swamp is, the swamp's a swamp. It's very muddy, very difficult to move through. Very dead, desolate. There's fog everywhere. It's on the chilly side. It's probably just starting to get dark. And so I'll have the group of four there start there. I wish everyone else was here. But yeah, so you guys probably figured that you should probably pitch, start a camp, maybe get a fire going, prepare for evening.
Well, Wagner certainly looks like things are turning to nightfall pretty soon. I'll go see what we can do to round up some wood for starting a fire. We saw a nice bit maybe a little ways back. GM, we have our equipment on us, right?
Your standard away team equipment, tricorder,
Okay.
phaser, communicator that I believe DeHaas determined none worked.
Cool. Yeah, so Bedden will try to scrounge up some firewood and some kindling and kind of, you know, clear out a little area to try to start a fire.
All right. Just go ahead and give me a let's go insight or reason um security. Diff 1 to locate the proper, to locate dry firewood, some kindling.
Cool.
It is a swamp after all.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Allergies. Sorry.
I feel your pain. Uh, so survival for a focus?
Yeah.
All right. Take a threat. This is a security roll.
I don't have a big threat pool today, so I enjoy threat. Damn. Gain 3. All right, Wagner, what are you doing while Ben is off collecting the wood?
Is there a way for me to Survey the surroundings to kind of get my bearings and improve navigation rolls in the future.
Sure. Let's go ahead and do an Insight or Reason Con difficulty 2.
Cool. Site con difficulty 2. Yeah, I'll use bold con, take threat. I am re-rolling that. There we go.
Right. Gain 1.
Hooray for bold con.
Yeah, so while Bedden's going off collecting the wood, you decide to do a little scouting, trying to get your bearings. You think, with some experience you have in navigation and such, that you think you might have found, maybe where you're located relative to what you think might be the center of the swamp. You're following some of the waterways, you found some game trails and whatnot. So, you think that you're maybe halfway to what you consider maybe the center of the swamp, that you approached from the southeast. You enter the swamp from the southeast. So knowing your position, you could probably help you navigate further into the center.
Cool. And yeah, I'll record what I've observed in my orientation and in my tricorder.
Tricorder does not work.
Oh, right. I will see if there is a way to create a physical medium. Like, I don't know, some bark or something and some charcoal from the fire.
Okay, give me let's make this a control engineering difficulty 2.
That makes sense. I will give it a go. Control engineering. I apparently cannot.
So you're trying to basically use like a stick or a rock to try to etch something into the bark of a down tree you found, but with it being swamp, a lot of moisture in the air, it doesn't work too well. The bark is just too soggy for you to write anything in. And a stick on a rock doesn't work too well either. So you're not really able to mark anything down other than like a few straight lines here and there, a few scratches, but nothing concrete that you can use, that you could notate anything. And I'm sure Casey probably would have got somebody into gathering food, so probably him and Dahas would try to find nuts and berries to eat. So that'd be one less thing you guys have to think about. For now. Anything either of you two are doing before you all decide to sleep?
Yeah, nothing I can think of on my end.
All right. So I guess now we will head to the captain, who is nice and dry and warm inside the castle of King Bale. So you've probably been in the chambers you were assigned for probably an hour or so. What are you doing?
I was probably looking into finding like literature on like probably avenues of like how they describe physics or well obviously they talk about magic, so books on that.
Anything specific you're looking for?
Things that deal with teleportation or obviously I know this stuff doesn't work because my comm badge wasn't working, so I think I tried that last session.
Yeah.
Ways to generate electricity. So I feel like that might be important.
Yeah, I do think you said you wanted to go to the library in the castle, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you probably just went there after settling in the room. So let's see. To search for something in a vast library of books, I'm thinking this is probably going to be insight or reason with your con score.
What's the difficulty?
We'll call it 2.
I'll give you a threat and I'll spend 2 momentum. Oops, I need 1 more dice. One generated and sorry. Momentum to squash because I have no way of re-rolling that. So
Alrighty. So, you start looking around for some type of knowledge on anything that has to do with technology or electricity generation. Most of the castle in the city, you notice, are powered with mostly like candlelight or torchlight. However, you do notice that they are starting to generate limited amounts of energy used for grain and cooking bread and such with water wheels. Yeah, they're probably just on the cusp of figuring out how to use water for power. As far as like splitting the atom type stuff or nothing of that sort.
So no flywheel. They're not there yet.
No. You know, fantasy realm.
Fun. Have they discovered a way? Like, have they discovered like things like gold, copper, iron, and stuff like that? I'm assuming they have these basic materials.
Yeah, you see a lot of the, you know, you notice that the king was probably decked out in golden crown, you know, some jewelry. Some of the people there, you know, notice have precious metals. So yes, there are definitely precious metals around.
In that case, I will take a dive into the basic understanding of how magic works in this realm.
Okay. Give me. Let's go insight. Yeah, let's go insight science or reason science, I think.
Difficulty?
Probably the two.
Take a threat.
Hey, I'm finally up to where I normally start in threat. Oh, damn. Look at that roll. Gain 2 momentum. Too bad you didn't have a focus. Oh, wait, no. That's a 3, not a 2. So you start scouring the library in order to figure out how magic works here. And a lot of what you're finding is there's certain individuals who basically dedicate their lives to the pursuit of like magic, whether it be like a priest or a village shaman or something like that. Those are normally the ones who wield quote unquote magic. They can make things appear, they could do simple illusions. Teleportation is mentioned a few times. So like mystics, priests, temple priest, tribal shamans, things like that. Not so much in the everyday person.
So it's something that's taught by person of individuals and not in books.
Yeah, it's like a passed down tradition. Dedicate. You got to dedicate yourself to it. Semi quasi secret stuff.
So, short of building a kite with a key in a metal jar to harness some electricity, really feel like I'm stuck here. But yeah, she'll just keep digging through books, just gain insight on this essentially world, that's beyond the book that obviously she's read to her kid hundreds of times.
Okay, give me. This is probably going to be an insight, and I will take anything that you think would work in this situation. But this is to basically, as you're walking through, looking at books, to notice like something in one of them. So yeah, I'll let you use insight or reason, whichever one's better for you, and whatever discipline you sell me on. Since you're just kind of reading through books, trying to find one. So this would pretty much be grabbing a book that catches your eye, reading through it, and finding something. is how I see this.
As much as I want to argue for command, I don't see it. So
Like I said, it's all about selling me on it.
if I'm going to argue for command, I want to say then it's to argue the advent to gain the favor of a priest or a magician to either teach or help her in a capacity.
I'll take it.
Div 2, you said?
This one would be 3.
2 threat and a momentum.
Gain 1 momentum back. All right, so you're digging through the library, trying to grab as many books, reading through them as fast as you possibly can. When you come across the book with a title that is kind of akin to history of our world type stuff, and you start flipping through the pages, and you notice that the majority of the book is empty, save for maybe the first 15 pages or so. Quickly glancing through those first 15 pages, you get the sense that this world that you're living in is really not that old. Doesn't have a lot of history. It's almost as if it was brought into creation not that long ago.
Is there a copy of the book in this library? Like the actual book, the storybook?
No. Be weird for a a storybook to have its own story in there.
Well, I was thinking more of like a key, but is there any lore on how this world came into being?
In the book that you are currently reading, it makes reference to an elder being that many in this realm believe to have created the world.
Does it have a name?
It does not.
Does it describe the elder being?
The only description it has is it says, to know the elder being is to understand the universe and how it works.
Does my character off the top of her head know the writer? Like the name of the person who wrote the book?
You probably do, but I never created one. So I would say yes. We'll call the writer J.E. Pinter.
You can skip to the others because I'm out of ideas at the moment.
Okay. No, it's just information gathering. You'll be able to learn more when the king takes you to the mystic. So back in the swamp, the group of four probably take turns, keeping watch, going to sleep. Both you, Bedin, and Wagner, you are both trying to sleep around the campfire. When you hear Dahas start screaming and shouting into something in the distance. You can't have him, you honorless Patak! You hear Dahas scream.
I am startled awake.
Bedden as well, and Bedden will jump up and, first he'll try to visually locate the Haas in that direction. Can you see her?
Yeah, they're maybe 15 to 20 meters outside of the perimeter of the camp. Or she is, I should say. She appears to be trying to pull something out of the swamp.
Is Casey anywhere around us?
No.
Yeah, he's gonna run. To their location, not away from what's going on.
And yeah, you get there and you see her trying to pull what appears to be Casey's hands out of the swamp.
Yeah, he'll immediately say, Dahas, what's happening?
The swamp's trying to swallow him. As she tries with all her might to pull him out. But Casey's arm just keeps sinking under.
Yeah, he'll, try to also grab one of Casey's arms and pull and see how hard it is to pull him out.
Yeah, I'll run over and try to help as well.
So y'all try to pull. Give me... This is going to be a fitness security difficulty 2 for each of you.
Okay.
Uh, Would any focus apply to this situation?
Powerlifting, maybe.
Tug of war, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, well, take a threat. And thank God. All right.
Thank God for rerolls, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, take as much momentum as you need.
yeah, I am definitely gonna need at least one. I'm just checking what.
That was a bad roll with my.
Apologies for the incredibly clacky new keyboard.
Is it shiny at least?
It's glowy.
Blue switches or?
RGB.
Oh, gotcha.
Um, that doesn't really apply. Okay, so yeah, I will spend. Two momentum, I guess. Or sorry, three momentum. Well, I shouldn't have spent the momentum, but oh,
Get one back at least.
just absolutely wasted. Oh,
So both of you get there. You're trying to pull on Casey with everything you have, but it is like it almost feels like you're trying to lift up a starship, trying to lift him out, and he just sinks further and further until his hand totally disappears. And as you're trying to pull him out, you start to notice that you yourselves are starting to be pulled in. If you're still trying to pull him out, you start to feel yourself being pulled under as well.
So we're feeling ourselves being pulled under as a consequence of us
Holding on to him, correct.
holding on to him. Okay.
The roll was more or less to see if you strained anything while trying to lift him.
Gotcha. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Ben is gonna ask Dagahas, what happened? What did she say?
The swamp just took him.
Was
He
it
was halfway buried by the time I noticed.
did you see a creature or
I don't know. If I didn't hear a rustling in the distance, I wouldn't have even have noticed.
is there anything around us that I see that we could potentially use as a weapon?
Your sticks you gathered earlier that Dahas sharpened into spears.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about
yeah. I guess I will grab one of them.
that. To aim, I don't feel super good about plunging them into the water, knowing that Casey's down there and we can't see anything. This might be really dumb, but Beden's gonna grab one and he's gonna dive in.
At the spot where Casey was?
Yeah, a little to the side of it. But yeah, he's gonna try to go in after him.
So you dive in or jump in, and you notice that it's not that deep. You know, it's muddy, but it's really not that deep. You know, it's maybe 1.5 feet of water.
Can you see anything?
Maybe a tadpole swimming. A frog.
No Casey.
No Casey.
Wait, so if it's only 1.5 feet, when he dived in, did he basically just belly flop onto the ground?
He did now.
Sorry.
Thanks, Wagner.
Um,
Oh yeah, I was trying to find something.
Yeah, Prax is probably more it.
yeah. Um,
So there's no sign of any disturbances on the bottom of the lake, right?
Give me an insight security.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to see if like, I mean, there's any mud that's been kicked up, like any signs of disturbance at all. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try. Yeah, take threats. Take security.
I don't think I give you difficulty. I'll give you a difficulty 1. So you gain 2 there. So the only thing you notice is that you see Casey's footsteps. You know, in the parts where it's not underwater, you know, the parts that are on mud. So it looks like he physically walked to this location, but you don't see anything else. You don't see any signs of struggle. You don't see a sign of combat. You don't see any wildlife prints. Other than what the 3 of you disturbed around this area, there's really nothing else here.
I have no idea what is happening.
Same.
Where did he go?
Well, this might be a shot in the dark, but I wonder. Yeah, I wonder if what we just saw was maybe an illusion. Hopefully.
But then where is he?
Hopefully back at camp. Ben's gonna try one more thing. He's gonna take his sharpened stick and kind of poke around in the mud. Not like really hard, but just kind of gingerly poke around.
Yeah, see if anything's there. And
Yeah.
there's nothing.
All right, he'll come up for air out of the 1.5 foot water. I didn't see anything. It's like he just vanished. Tahas, you said that when you woke up, he was already at the edge of the water?
He was already halfway submerged.
You didn't hear anything. So Ben will look at the footprints. So you said it looked like Casey willingly walked up. There were no signs of struggle.
Yes, he was expressionless, emotionless. He wasn't struggling. He wasn't fighting.
Maybe some sort of venom?
And mind control. Doesn't seem like the Casey that we know. Then we'll, I guess, get out of the water.
In your now soaking wet and muddy uniform.
Yeah.
Well, you're all kind of muddied up now.
So what do you think? Do we keep looking somewhere, anywhere? Do we make our way?
I'm not sure if I want to remain here. On the other hand, tromping off into the woods at night doesn't seem smart. Nighttime navigation with extremely primitive instruments is very difficult. We'd probably get ourselves lost, honestly.
I think DeHaas is a lieutenant. So yeah, I guess that might make me commanding officer. Great. So GM, I mean, can we get a sense as to how far into the night we actually are? Are we closer to dawn than not?
Yeah, you're closer to dawn. It's maybe 4 a.m. You know, maybe like right before twilight starts to hit.
Well, I say that we keep a watch till dawn. Do some searching around the perimeter of this lake. And in 2 hours, we can't find anything. I say we keep moving.
All right.
Wagner, DeHaas, thoughts?
Um, if you think it's better to get moving than to stick here, I'm willing to follow your lead on that, sir. Wait a minute. Can I try to make up like a primitive sextant and see if there's a magnet around for me to use as a compass?
I'll give you a roll. It might be kind of difficult, but yeah.
Okay.
I'll make this a difficulty 3, complication 2.
What type of roll, though?
This is probably going to have to be engineering, and I'll take reason, insight, control.
Okay.
Can I assist with this?
Probably not.
Could Haas assist?
Probably not.
Ah, okay. What was the difficulty again? I know complication was 3, right?
Difficulty 3, complication 2.
Oh, complication 2. Okay, I got them mixed up. Okay. I'm gonna spend the 3 momentum we've regained. Sorry, folks. I really don't want to get lost in the forest, so.
Oh, go for it.
Oh no. Well, that's unfortunate.
Does it stand?
I don't have any values that apply. And I don't think a reasonable argument can be made for the directive. So I think it has to.
So you're trying to scour the swamp in the dark, trying to locate anything that could be used to create like a compass, create anything to help with navigation. And it's really just a barren swamp, you know, outside of like a few down trees and grasses. There's really no metal, and there's nothing rocky up besides maybe a few basic rocks. I don't know the scientific term for those, but yes, just, you know, your basic run of the mill everyday rocks, you know, nothing precious, nothing magnetic.
All right. Well, I guess let's get going then.
All right. Don't worry, Wagner, with your natural navigation skills. We'll be fine.
I hope you're not putting too much confidence in me, but let's give it a go. Don't know until we try.
All right, so gosh, yeah, there's no way to record this location. Ben is going to try to remember any distinguishing feature around the lake. A group of rocks, a clearing, noteworthy plants. I don't know if there are any flowers that stand out, something that he might be able to remember later on to get back to the location. And
All right.
then they'll
Give me a
proceed.
reason, insight, or con. Reason, insight with con.
Oh, damn. You do not want me making this roll. What's the difficulty?
2. It's just an advantage creation.
Okay.
Alternatively, since I'm using it as an advantage creation, you can just give me 2 momentum. Up to you.
I will give you 2 momentum.
I used up all of the momentum on my roll, unfortunately. We should be zeroed out, I think.
Yes.
All right, well, I'm rolling. Let's see what this time does. No focus. Yeah, take a threat.
I'll probably take survival if it
Uh-oh.
matters. If you have more than 1 in con,
I have a 1 in con.
then it does not matter if you have a focus.
Yeah, take a threat. We'll chance it.
Hey,
Nice.
Hey,
there
nice
are
gods like me.
a cluster of trees near your location that is very distinctive from anything else you've seen so far in the swamp.
Okay, Beden's gonna close his eyes as hard as he can and record that image, and then, yeah, I guess we'll be underway.
Yep. Do we have any blades or sharp rocks? Were any of those created last session? Aside from the pointy sticks?
I think you just made pointy sticks.
Darn. Okay.
All right, we'll enter a new scene. We'll head back to the captain in the castle. It is mid-morning, and Captain, you are awakened by servants entering. Some of the castle servants entering your room. Good morning, Mrs.
Good morning.
Here, Mrs. We have some breakfast for you.
Thank you.
Now, don't dally too long, Mrs. We have a big day ahead of us.
Of course. And she kind of looks. I'm assuming Ezri was in here, or
No, she is in a separate room.
she'll take a look at sampling the platter.
So it's a pretty nice breakfast spread. There's a few eggs, maybe something that looks like bacon, various fruits and vegetables, tea, some type of juice. You know, a nice breakfast spread.
Take tiny bites of the food to sample, each one.
And yeah, this is some of the best tasting food you've ever had. It was nicely seasoned, perfectly cooked. I don't know if you're a tea or coffee drinker, but depending on which one you like, it was divine.
Character's tea drinker, so
Yeah. Like Uncle Iroh level tea drinking here. Tea making, I should say.
yeah, I guess when she's done eating breakfast, she'll put back on her uniform jacket, assuming she slept in her clothes, and did one of the servants stay in the room? Like king's servants?
Oh yeah, like they're making the bed. They're opening the blinds, pulling out clothes from one of the cupboards nearby. When you start putting on your uniform, she says, "No, no, 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 ma'am. We can't have you going gallivanting in that when you are to be escorted by the king. No, 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 please, this way." And she kind of points to the cupboard that has like a bunch of nice looking dresses, women's clothing in there. Period pieces. And she starts taking, the maid starts taking several of them and hanging them up. "Here, Mom, take your pick."
The red one's nice.
And she'll take the red one and she'll hand it to you. "Right that way, Mom. We have a privacy curtain there."
She'll go get changed. All the while, kind of palms her communicator just in case to keep it, close by.
I know, right? Hey, Prax chose to go to the forest or to go to the castle instead of anywhere else. The rest of you decided to be captured by Quiggins.
It could be worse. But yeah, it changes clothes and puts on the dress.
All right, so you change, and when you step out from behind the privacy curtain, one of the maids, the main maid, says, "Ah, yes, Mom, that is much better. But I can't help to feel that it is missing something." And she opens a drawer on one of the jewelry stands to reveal a whole selection of fine necklaces. "Please, Mom. Whichever takes your fancy."
I'm gonna be a bit honest, this is a little bit too much. You choose.
"I think this one looks very smart on you, Mom." And she takes like a little blue jeweled pendant and kind of holds it up. "May I, Mom?" Offering to tie it for you.
She sort of pulls her hair back and lets her tie it around her neck.
And then kind of like both of you looking into the mirror. "Doesn't that feel better, Mom?"
It's quite lovely.
"Perfect outfit for a day with our king, don't you think?"
Was not expecting to spend the whole day with the king. I thought I was meeting I'm not blanking on the name. The Magistar. Is that right? The
Mystic,
mage,
I believe.
mystic.
Yeah, mystic. If the king promised to take you to see our mystic, then I'm sure that will be happening today, Mum.
I see. And she's gonna go find her shoes and put them on.
Seeing that you're probably going for your Starfleet
Yes.
boots. She says, no, Mom, we have footwear for this dress right here. And they probably grab like a red heel.
Oh, they match perfectly. Hmm. She goes and puts the heels on.
As you are putting your shoes on, what you could probably surmise as a male butler enters in. Is the lady ready?
She just kind of looks to the maid with a raised eyebrow. Is there anything else I should be wearing?
I think the lady looks very smart today. Don't you think, sir? I do believe His Majesty will be most pleased. If you'll follow me, my lady.
She stands up and follows the butler.
And you start walking down the hall towards, probably where you met the king last night. How did you find our stay in the East Wing? I think I said East Wing, correct?
I believe so.
How did you find your stay in our East Wing, madam?
Lovely. It was. The bed was warm and comfy.
It is wonderful to hear. His Majesty will be most pleased that you enjoyed your evening. He takes pride in keeping his guest comfortable and well entertained.
I see. Have you seen my daughter? I know she was separated into another room.
Yes, the little darling simply loves it here. This morning she had her writing lesson.
Already? Wow. The first.
The little missus is a delight to have around the castle. This place has not been as lively since she has shown up.
Tell me, sir. How long has the king been the king, and what of his father's or grandfather?
As luck would have it, you turn a corner and you enter this long room with paintings splattered on the wall. It is funny you should ask, madam. This is where His Majesty likes to keep all the portraits of His Majesties before him.
How far does it go back?
There's probably a good 50 or something painted portraits down this hallway. Probably 25 on each side.
Do they
This
look,
right here was King Bale's father, King Reginald II. And of
cur-
course, his father before him and his father.
do they all look similar or fairly different from each other?
You could definitely tell that they're family.
So they vary in
Yeah.
description. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me, has the kingdom always been here before and the nations around it? Any tales from the first king that drove back horrible invaders or led the downfall of some empire of old?
Most of our kings ruled in relative peace and harmony and prosperity. Before the bad times, of course.
What do you know of these bad times?
Our dear king's own mother and father were both killed. That is why His Majesty was forced to take the crown so young.
And what did they die of? Or I should say, what caused their perish?
We don't know the exact cause, madam. But there is a reason why we are not allowed to venture into the Black Swamp.
What's in the Black Swamp? If you dare ask, because it is quite possible I may be here for quite a while.
It is rumored that a great evil lives within the swamp. It is told that His Majesty's mother and father were killed by this great evil.
What's this evil? Like, does it have a description?
Fortunately, no one knows for sure, as everyone who has ventured to find out has never returned.
So, a faceless monster.
But it is because of these rumors that His Majesty has declared the Black Swamp off limits to all his subjects. Save for those brave enough to enter.
It's a very wise precaution. tell me, have any others come to the kingdom looking, or well, dressed similar as me? Well, yesterday.
You and the young misses are the first, Mum. Do you come from a place outside?
So, I know I stayed up very late last night reading many books of your fine literature. I've noticed that some of them are well filled with blank pages.
Blank pages, Mum.
Yes, it goes into the some of your history lore.
Well, that is news to me, Mum.
I'm just sure you're not aware of it. That's all.
But I will talk with our master librarian. But here we are, Mum. His Royal...
You could call me Azrael or Prax.
I'm sorry, Mum, that would not be appropriate.
Of course.
But please, Mum, the king is waiting in his study.
Thank you. And she enters the study.
All right, we'll come back to you, Prax. We will head back into the swamp. It's probably, it's morning, probably 9 o'clock ish. The team in the swamp has been traveling for a few hours now. May I assume making your way toward the center, or were you heading somewhere else?
When you say the center,
Oh, the swamp.
was that our original route?
I believe so, yes.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, as far as navigation goes, I'm following Wagner.
Yeah, I'll be trying to navigate along the route.
All right, so the three of you are... Ooh, where's that echo coming from?
Wagner, you're echoing a little bit.
Echo? Yeah, that was weird. I started hearing myself. I was like, that normally doesn't happen.
Sorry, I'll try moving my microphone and angling it different so it doesn't pick you up. Try it now.
Hello? Hello? Echo? Echo? No, I think you're good.
Great.
So the three of you are pushing on. Wagner probably in the lead, Bedin in the middle, DeHaas taking up the rear. The three of you are sloshing through the water. When both Wagner, you and Bedin hear DeHaas just stop moving.
I stop and turn back. Or look back.
You look back and kind of see her crying a little bit, which is, odd for a Klingon.
So, Haas, what's wrong?
The commander. I failed him. He was within my grasp, and I let him go.
The three of us together couldn't pull him out. We did our best.
She kind of shakes her head. It is my duty to ensure the lives of my superiors, and I failed. And as soon as she finishes that sentence, you notice her start to sink into the swamp. Slowly.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
The
we're
Haas
running.
move.
Is she moving?
No, she is standing still, kind of repeating, I failed him. I let him die. She's kind of just stuck in that loop as she very slowly starts sinking into the swamp.
Beden will say, Wagner, we've got to break her out of the States. Yeah, he'll walk up to De Haas and basically just say, Lieutenant, look at me. Just very firmly.
I failed. He's gone because of me.
No, he's not. We will find him. Don't do this. Don't despair. Should be. So Beden is going to basically try to do anything he can to break her from this emotional state. He's going to try to get her to not despair.
How?
I can RP this. Is there a role for this?
Depends on the RP.
All right. Lieutenants, you have a duty to the surviving members of your crew to not let this dissuade you from your mission. We will find the commander. We will track him down after we get help in doing so. But you have a mission that you need to fulfill. Lieutenant Wagner and I need you. We cannot be a man down. You have to pull yourself together, get your emotions under control, and fulfill your duties.
I'll give you a presence command opposed roll.
Okay. I don't think I have anything for this. Yeah, guess I'll use my determination. Give a bit of a boost here. Will you take Never Back Down?
I will.
Awesome, thank you.
However, I'm going to spend Haas's determination, and since they're technically NPC, I got to do this.
Damn it.
Against her value, honor is more important than life.
It's a good one. Ugh.
It is.
Too applicable.
I know. That's why it's like I kind of have to do this.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. Okay. How am I going to play this? We have no momentum. Yeah, you know what? Take 3 threat. I'm going to roll 4 die.
Just be 2.
Okay. Yeah, take 2 threat.
But because I really want this thing to happen, I'm going to spend that back.
All right, Dahas. Well, your stats are lower than mine.
All right, so that is 4 successes against their 5. Does it stand?
How would I pay it off?
Because I'm not sure what you have to try to get rerolls.
Your only hope is to get another point of determination somehow, either challenging a value or if you have a log entry that you could cipher from to gain a point of determination. Unless the GM will give you a determination and as a form of a complication because you might have a value that will apply.
So for that final one, I wouldn't have to burn a value, correct?
No, I'd have to give. So how that would work is if I give you one, you'd have to accept some complication.
Gotcha.
You know, like I would be like, hey, because of this value, if you do this, I'll give you a determination. You know, something along those lines.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in seeing what that final one would entail.
Yeah, I don't really see it though. I'm looking.
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure I can.
Because you have good values that if the roles were reversed, I would be able to use determination for, you know?
Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
like if the roles were reversed, you know,
Yeah.
you know, like if you were stuck in there and you were trying to get out, I'd be like, hey, I'd give you determination if you went against you know, looking for adventure or something, you know, because you're looking for adventure. If you did this, if you let this happen, here's your determination, for example.
Gotcha.
You know, like if there is a way, like if you were playing this and this were to happen to you, if you were playing Dahas and you had looking for adventure, I would probably be like, here's a determination because you're looking for adventure. If you let this happen, here's your determination. You know, as opposed to trying to get out of it.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I
But
don't
yeah,
really see
so-
anything like that.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is there's probably not much I can do. Yeah, I hate to do it, but I guess I'll have to let it happen.
You try your very best to pull the house out of the state she's in. You even start yelling, cursing at her to, you know, fight whatever this is. And she just keeps in that loop. I failed the commander. He's dead because of me. And ever slowly, she just starts to sink her head very slowly into the swamp. And as she disappears under it, just a few bubbles from the swampy, muddy water appear, and Ahas is gone.
And we'll look at Wagner. I think we need to get out of
Mic
this
stop working?
Sorry, what?
Oh, I thought your mic stopped working.
Oh no, Ben was pausing for dramatic effects and
Yeah.
thinking about which way to go next. Wagner, we have to get out of the swamp.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we do. Right, so, okay. So yesterday when I did the survey, we were there. We've traveled a few clicks that way. I think the closest way should be this direction, I think. I don't know what kind of threat is here, but it seems to attack people's minds. Or maybe it responds to people's mindset. What's your
Yeah.
thoughts?
Well, I agree. It's somehow associated with seemingly a negative emotional state. Whether it causes that state or whether it responds to that state. If it causes it, we don't have any control over it. If it responds to it, the best solution we have might be to just maintain the most positive mindset that we can. Try not to despair. Well, Wagner, I'm following you, and why don't you tell me about the happiest times you had as a child growing up? Might help take our mind off things.
So, all right, there was usually it involved sneaking away from social functions with my younger brother to go explore in the woods. when we were supposed to be in fancy dress. Usually ended up ruining the fancy dress and getting our parents pissed with us.
I had something similar. Maybe not fancy dress, but used to get into trouble with my friends, and my parents weren't very happy about it, to say the least. It's actually what caused me to join Starfleet. Uh, well, I won't go into specifics quite yet, I guess, but me and a few friends got in trouble, and yeah, my parents bailed me out. Just remember thinking, can't go on like this, you know? My parents, I could tell that they loved me, but I wanted to return that, I guess, and make something out of myself.
I can kind of relate to that. I joined Starfleet because I wanted to give back after they helped us out. So, but the oh man, this one time it was a bit funny. So my siblings and I were like pretty close in age, all of us. So when you're that close in age as kids, do you have siblings?
I don't, actually.
Okay. Well, among my friends who have siblings, either you're very close if you're close in age, or you fight like cats and dogs. And we kind of sometimes a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B, depending on the month. So one of the times that we were like fighting with each other a bit, I managed to we managed to get ourselves lost because we were too busy fighting to pay attention to where we were going. And what we wound up doing was basically building a little shelter out in the woods during a storm. And yeah, we had to put aside our differences because there was a big thunderstorm going on, and high winds and all that. We needed shelter in a hurry. So it's a good memory because it kind of taught me that, sounds kind of trite, but no matter our differences, they'll always help me out, and I'll always help them out. Even if we were literally at blows 10 minutes earlier.
That's yeah, I don't have siblings, but yeah, that's I guess the same feeling I had, yeah, with my parents, right? It's as much as you feel that you're at odds, you're always there for each other.
Mm-hmm.
Funny how, well, whatever can really demonstrate that to you, whatever in life. That's well, no stranger to pranks myself, and he'll kind of go into, some of the pranks that he and his friends pulled on other friends, and try to make lighthearted conversation, a few jokes.
This one time, my sister, who's super into engineering nowadays, go figure, booby trapped my entire room so that when I opened the door, everything fell out onto the floor.
Did you let her off easy?
God, no.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, my friends and I didn't really do anything, I would say, super dangerous. Kind of like that, like, normal, I don't know, taking various things, just he'll trail off. But this one time, I actually waited until one of my friends fell asleep. It was a bit of a slumber party, and well, we used my father's shaving foam, and well, I think we got most of the way through covering my friend's face before he woke up and realized what was going on. And he took him a little while to get most of it off of his face and his hair, but he ended up getting me back at least a few weeks later. Um, yeah, couple water balloons, I guess, um, tossed at me while I was sleeping. So we tended to have a back and forth when each other was sleeping.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Did you ever do the shaving cream in the hand and tickle their face trick?
No, actually. That sounds interesting. How would you perform that?
So they're sleeping. They gotta have a hand free. You put the shaving cream in one of the hands. Oh, we'd be walking while talking, I'm guessing.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, just for my reference.
You put the shaving cream in one of the hands and then you kind of tickle their face. If you get it right, they'll smack themselves in the face and get themselves with the shaving cream,
Oh man.
which gives you a little more time to get out of swinging range.
Yeah, I was about to say. Never tried that. When we were younger, we tried the one, was it the hand in the warm water to cause them to urinate when they were, we never got that trick to work, actually. Every time we tried to pick up our friends' hands, just they always woke up.
Yeah, I remember one time my little sister got me with dumped a bucket of ice water on me while I was in the sonic shower.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, well,
Just
hopefully,
water pranks.
yeah, hopefully you got her back for that one.
That one I'm not sure if I did. She did it the day before she was going to a sleepaway camp. So,
Gotcha. Well,
did you
smart
have
at
those
least.
on where you grew up?
Uh, Nothing organized. Usually just some, friends, people would go out into the brush. Uh, I grew up on a very rural planet, so it was very dry. Um, so yeah, not much organized. It was very ad hoc, but we would very often go hiking and yeah, just be out there for a few days camping. Very peaceful.
Bit of a slower pace than the Starfleet life.
Certainly compared to this, at least. Yeah, well, I think that was kind of what caused me to get into a bit of trouble, to be honest. A little bored, you know. It was fun, but you know, when you're younger.
Yep. The So I used to visit some of my relatives, this rural planet, some summers. And one of the things they would do is basically climb everything that didn't have a safety fence around it. And even some of the stuff that had safety fences around it, they'd figure out a way over the safety fence. Did you guys do that too? Nothing else to do, so.
All the time. We would constantly be trying to get into places that we shouldn't have gotten into. Yeah, I mean, well, even like I mentioned, we were hiking. You know, we'd be hiking on ranch property. You know, get a ways in there, and then you know, farmer or whoever else, rancher would come out and you know yell at us, stuff like that. Nothing too bad. So.
Suddenly I'm reminded of the time I got stuck on the roof.
Of your home?
Of one of the schools in that my cousins attended.
How in the world did you get stuck on the roof?
So there was a retractable ladder that went to about 2 meters off of the ground, and my cousins gave me a boost up there, and then somebody came along, and they ran off, and yeah, I couldn't run off because I was only about 8 then, so you know, a 2 meter drop was very frightening to an 8-year-old at that time.
Man. How long were you up there?
Oh, not long. The groundskeeper who scared off my cousins spotted me.
I know what you're saying. It's
And after that, they used to lock up the access to the roof.
Isn't it fun when rules are created based on something you did? Can't do this anymore.
The more weirdly specific the rule, the better.
Yeah. Bragging rights, you know. Yeah, I have to say that I probably should have been a little more afraid of heights when I was younger. There was a lot of falling out of trees. Not gracefully either. Yeah. It's amazing how you hold these memories for the rest of your life.
Yeah, no kidding. Though I think, I don't think a childhood is complete without falling off of something that you climb that you probably shouldn't have.
Very true. GM, yeah, I assume we kind of carry on like this.
Yeah. I
Maybe
was just
crack a
about
few
to.
jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just about to head back to Prax, and I'll come back to you too. All right, Prax. You enter into the king's study, and as the doors are opened for you by the butler, you see the king sitting there with his morning cup of coffee, and you see your daughter sitting there, you know, probably coloring or something. She sees you and yells, "Mommy!" and runs up to you to give you a hug.
She gracefully bends over to receive the hug and pick her up. I heard you had writing lessons this morning.
Yes, yes. The king let me ride the horses.
How very kind of him.
Mommy, don't you just love it here?
It's nice, but at some point we do need to go back home.
Can we just stay?
We'll talk about it later, sweetie. She sets her dad back on the ground. Your Majesty.
My lady. And you could kind of see that he's flustered by you at the moment.
Thank you for the morning meal and to grace my daughter in some lessons in writing.
Of course. I am not a monster. As he tries to regain his kingly bearings.
I have only sampled a small selection of your library. Though I'm a bit curious about some things. I am unsure if I could do the task you ask of me. It would appear that the way things work here potentially are far different than where they work where I come from. Though, that being said, obviously I am pulled into your realm. It's possible the other way could be reversed. I would like to speak with your mystic when he is available today, I hope.
Of course. Of course. I did promise that you would get to meet our mystic. But wouldn't you perhaps like a tour instead? A tour of the rest of the castle, perhaps, or the city?
Sure. That would be quite lovely. Though I do have friends who will eventually come looking for me.
Well, any friends of you are, of course, welcome here at the castle.
She just gives him a nod.
Oh shit, I just noticed it's 10 p.m. So the king will look down and be like, "Oh, that reminds me, I do have an engagement this evening. Perhaps we can postpone your tour for later."
Of course.
Did, after all, promise you yesterday a chat with our mystic?
I am curious. You said you heard my voice and my daughter's voice as I read from the pages on my end. How?
Yes, it was quite unsettling at first.
Did everyone in the kingdom hear it, or just through a particular item or object?
It was almost as if we heard the voice of God yell down from the heavens. Understanding that our gods live here with us, certainly that couldn't be the case. So I beseeched the best of our mystics to try to find out what is going on. And that is when they learned of the world outside of our realm.
I see. Well, if it's not too trouble, I would like to head to the marketplace, see if I can't gather some items that might be of help in figuring a way out. Well, to my realm.
Of course, of course. Shall we all go? I think I could spare a few moments. Do you show such a fair lady around my realm?
If you wish. I do not wish to postpone any engagement that you might have, Your Majesty.
I am the king. I determine when my meetings take place.
She just kind of gives a weak smile at that. And Kesri, would you wish to accompany us to the market?
Yeah. She kind of excitedly jumps up and down a little bit. Well then, it is decided. And he kind of motions to the door. Shall we?
She just gives a slight nod.
And off you go toward the city. You'll probably head on foot. It's not that big. Well, I mean, it's a decent sized city, but you don't need to take a carriage or anything. It's probably, you, the king, a few servants, probably 4 of the guard. Sorry, no buses run in this city.
Assuming there's some idle conversation, she will keep an eye out for things to make like a primitive capacitor potentially and a hand crank generator almost like some iron, copper.
All right, give me insight or reason with engineering to find these items while you're out at the markets.
Difficulty?
Make it 2.
Three threat. Oh. Yeah, I don't think I have a value for this.
Man, these dice are not being kind to you guys tonight.
No.
And it's not a bad roll either.
No, it's just that I have a 13 max, so because she's not obviously an engineer, so
Yeah, but still, a 13 is pretty good.
I don't think there's a directive to survive. I guess could this apply to the mission directive?
Yeah, probably. Submission's probably is find a way out of here. So yeah, I'll take that.
And I'm gonna reroll 3. Oh my god.
Right? Gain 3. So it takes an hour or so, but you probably find enough materials, all paid at the king's expense, of course, to, craft a capacitor, hand crank generator, whatnot.
Yeah, a glass jar, here, copper, wiring and whole 9 yards.
And eventually the king will chime up, when you probably finish buying some of the more expensive items you need. My lady, what is it you plan to do with all these trinkets?
Science.
I have heard you use this word before. And you think with the science you can find us a way out of here?
Well, hopefully it'll lead to a way out of here. To be honest, Your Majesty, I don't know if it'll really work or not.
Well, unless our mystic is able to find a way out, I am afraid we are all stuck here.
Tell me, I read a passage in one of your books. It says it involves the creator of your universe. I believe it went to understand the being is to understand the universe.
Where did you hear that?
It was in one of your books in a library. Do you know what this being it's referring to?
We will not speak of that thing.
You're referring to the thing that took your parents. I know this is probably a tough subject for you. I do apologize for opening any wounds.
Thing is responsible for this entire thing, and he kind of just motions around.
What, the being created all of this?
If I had a way to kill the thing and end this torture, I would.
Obviously, the being wanted to give you life. Is it torture every time I open the book and read a passage from it?
You, the thousands others. You won't believe how many times I've had to relive the siege on Castle Pleasantville.
So every time a passage from the book is read, the events play out.
Just torture reliving the same moment over and over. And none of this started until that being came. Whatever it is.
So there was a time before the being.
There was nothing before.
Does the being reside in this realm?
Of course it does.
Well, where does it reside at?
The one place where I dare not send a single soul.
The swamp?
Aye, the Black Swamp. And we'll cut back to a new scene, and we'll head back to the swamp.
No, the precious momentum.
So Ben and Wagner, you're both back. You're both here.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So you two are walking, talking, trying to keep each other. I would assume happy is what you seem to do, reminiscing about good times, trying to keep any bad thoughts out of your minds. Correct? I'm assuming. I'm assuming that's correct.
Correct. I think that's what we're trying to do.
Okay, so as you're walking, all of a sudden, the earth just shakes, almost knocking you both into the swamp. As a large mound starts rising out of the swamp directly in front of your path.
Um. I will. I'll make sure I have my spear handy. I guess.
And you said a mound was coming out of the swamp?
Yeah. And as you watch it, as the earth continues to shake, this hill just keeps on getting larger and larger until it's towering over you to create this hill almost 50 feet tall.
Yeah. We go around it?
I will try to route us around it.
All right. As you start making your way around it, you hear a loud yawn. Who disturbs my slumber? As you see a head of a turtle start to peek out of the hill.
Um,
Ben will just whisper, Wagner, should we talk to it?
it was not our intent to disturb your slumber. We apologize. We're trying to get out of here. Do you know the way out?
Out, in. It's all the same to me.
Well, surely you wouldn't mind helping a bunch of wayward people that can't find their way. After all, we found a way out of here. We can be out of your hair very quickly. Let you return to your slumber.
Your problems are of no concern to me. Go, stay. It doesn't matter.
What does concern you?
My rest. And the turtle kind of smells a little bit. You are not of this place.
No, we are not. Well, came here from somewhere else, from a great distance.
Yes, yes, I know of the universe. The question is, what are you here? Why are you here?
Well, I would say we're trying to find our colleagues, our friends.
I mean, what are you doing in this pocket dimension?
Ben will look to Wagner. Seems to know more than this world. Should we just tell it?
Um, I mean, if it knows, I don't think it would be a violation. If it knows already.
Eden will say, "What is your name?"
Name. My name. Oh, I'm so old I don't remember. It doesn't matter what my name is. There are no others that would use it.
Well, to answer your question, we're looking for our captain. She's gone missing somewhere here, and we're trying to find our way out. We don't know where to go.
How did you get here in the first place? No one is supposed to enter from the outside.
Well, I was going to say you might find this hard to believe, but quite frankly, I'm not sure that's the case. We read a book, and we were transported here.
Oh, what the hell did it? Yes, the book. What is it they are calling the book now?
I am currently scrolling up. Kingdom of something.
Pharisma.
Charisma. Beden will say the Kingdom of Charisma.
I see the titles have not gotten creative over the centuries.
Have you been here since the beginning?
The beginning. Yes, I suppose I have.
Well, not only are we looking for our captain, we're also looking for her daughter. A young girl. She's very interested in this book, from what I understand.
The dealings of trifling pedals.
Well, perhaps we could make a deal. If you could help us get out of this place, is there anything at all that you would want in return?
DeGrasse, Beden, give me a presence command diff 3.
This is not the character you want to be making these rolls. Okay.
Well, I mean, Casey had to peace out, so you're it.
Wagner, just for future info, what's your presence command?
What is my presence command? Grand total of 10.
Right, so I'm at 11. Okay.
You are the best one here for this
Yay.
job.
I was just gonna keep my mouth shut and not talk if you were okay. And I have no determination, so this is gonna get very thready very quickly. Um, what is it? 1 momentum and 2 threat for 2 extra dice?
Yep.
There you go. No focus unless you count deception as a focus, and I am not deceiving this turtle.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay. All right, let's give it a shot.
And you were worried.
Oh, I was so worried.
Gain 1. Leave? Why would I want to leave? I'm safe here. I created it to be safe.
Well, not that we would want you to leave, but we ourselves are looking to leave this swamp. I didn't know if there was anything you wanted, or if you just wanted to be left alone, and the easiest way to get us to leave you alone is to get us out of the swamp.
Even if I wanted to open the shell and let you out, it might open me up to harm.
How so?
Eons ago, my race numbered in the thousands until our enemy came and killed all of my kindred. I am all that is left. I hidden myself away in, I believe, what you call the subspace, so that I may survive, hidden away from those who might seek to do me harm.
So do I understand that you're not from here either?
I come from where you did. Your universe.
So if I may ask, you seem to have lived a long time since you came here. And, well, it sounds like the threat to you is outside of this, I believe you called it a pocket dimension. We got in. That means others could maybe get in after us. Others who might intend to do you harm. If you help us get out of this swamp, we can help protect you by making sure that others on the outside can't get in to do you harm.
Give me presence command diff 2.
Oh my gosh.
You're trying to persuade this thing to do something it really doesn't want to do. And I made it diff 2 because you're actually doing good role play.
All right, well, all right, yeah, 2 momentum and 1 threat. Really want to get out of here.
Because I reward good role play.
Oh my god. Darn.
Do you let it stand?
Let me see if I have a value I can challenge. Unfortunately, I don't think so. Uh, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, all my values in the situation would be great for determination, but not the antithesis of that, so.
So it stands?
Yeah, I think it has to.
I'm too tired. You found your way into the swamp. I am sure you could find your way out.
All right, Wagner. That was my idea.
Yeah, these dice during the important rules are not your friends tonight.
Sadly, no. No, they're not.
It's a tough RNG night.
I mean, it's making things interesting on my end.
Can I try to navigate our way out of the swamp? Is
Yeah.
that possible?
Yeah, you already basically know where you're at.
Okay.
You know, like with the advantages and stuff. Like, you know, you're toward the center of the swamp.
All right. I guess I'll try to continue our way out then. Since trying to talk to the master of the swamp seems to have failed.
Alrighty. Where would you want to go? I guess would be the question.
Probably the most direct way out, or back to the lake that we arrived at, whichever is easier to
Okay.
get.
Yeah, I'll just give this a probably a reason or insight con, just to navigate out. Diff 1. You know what? I'll make it a diff 0 actually because of all the bonuses and stuff, but I'll give you a complication 2.
Okay.
Diff 0 comp 2.
Take a threat. I'm using Bold Con. I really don't want RNG to hate us. I'll go ahead and re-roll that since I used Bold
Complication. Complication. Yes.
Con. Sad face.
These guys are loving me tonight. See, that never works for Prax.
Occasionally it does. Occasionally. But you did gain 2 momentum.
You did.
Can I use the two momentum to quash the location?
If you want to, yeah.
I will do.
All right, it takes you a few moments to get your bearing after having the conversation with a giant talking turtle that seemed to have created a universe. But you find your bearing and your sense of direction, and you start heading back toward the lake that you first came in on. And we'll head back to the castle with the captain. You probably have headed back to the castle with all of your goodies carried by the king's many servants. So, Azrael Prax, what is it you plan to do with all these trinkets?
Build a device.
Pray tell, what device is that?
The harness the ability of lightning bolts.
You seek to harness the very power of the storms themselves.
Almost like it was magic.
I am intrigued. Please.
Unfortunately, it's a cardinal sin among my people to show less developed civilizations technology more advanced than their own.
So you wish to keep secrets like my mystic does, I see.
Apologies, Your Highness.
Very well. And he kind of just does that clap thing, that clap and motions to his servants to give you, basically a laboratory. Please, let one of my servants know when you have completed your task. I wish to see this when it is complete.
Yeah, she's gonna build a capacitor and a little flywheel generator and then attempt to hook it up to her communicator to power it.
Okay. Since I have some threat here, I'm going to make this a difficulty 2, but I'm going to make it a complication 3.
What's my role? Control engineering.
I'll give you control or insight or reason. I'll give you one of those 3 with engineering.
For what good this is, I'm going to use my joint talent to gain a relative focus for the task. And Starcross is the one that doubles the focus range. Yeah. So that way I have a focus range of 4. That way 4 will hit.
Works for me.
Yeah, and then I am going to. But we use one of my the Starfleet citation of conspicuous gallantry to essentially cut the amount of threat I'm going to give you. So you said it's diff 2? Yeah.
Yeah, diff 2, comp 3.
I'm going to give you 3 threat to roll 4 dice.
And then you roll challenge dice to see what I don't get, right?
Yes. and every effect. So you still get the 3 threat. And luckily I don't have to use my Legion. Unfortunately, the Starcross did not even hit, so...
Yeah. You did succeed, though. So, Captain, you hook up the makeshift power device. You know, you crank it up, charge the capacitor, hook it up to your to your communicator, and it sparkles to life. Not only that, Bedin and Wagner, your communicators start to discharge power as well. You know, you hear that crackling noise of like your communicators trying to power on.
Captain Prax to the expedition. Do you come in?
Captain, we barely receive you. You know, you're probably able to get, you know, every few word. It's really staticky.
Keep cranking the wheel.
Yeah. But yeah, you did get a response. You know, that them saying that they could barely read you.
Expedition, are you able to get a lock on my location?
No, Captain. Too much interference.
Does Bedin and Wagner hear this? It isn't open.
I don't think they did because they weren't communicated directly.
But their communicators came hummed back to life.
Yeah, as if they got power back. But the rules of who you call still apply.
Did anyone else follow me in?
Yes, Captain. Commander Casey, Lieutenants Bedin, Wagner, and De Haas.
Understood. No other personnel are allowed to enter. Do not read any passages from that book.
Yes, Captain. This will be Krim speaking. I have kept people from reading it. We are trying to find a way to break into the subspace dimension, but we are not having luck at the moment.
Understood. I'll make contact soon. How long has it been? How long have I been in here?
Less than an hour, Captain.
So that strikes me as time is very different here.
Oh, yes.
Understood. Rough math. It's been what, a day?
Yeah, probably a day. Probably been here about 24 hours.
So 1 day equals 1 hour, roughly.
Yeah. Yeah, all rough estimates, yes.
We'll try to make contact no later than 1 hour, hopefully 30 minutes.
Understood, Captain.
And then she'll end that and then try to tap her communicator. Prax to Commander Casey.
You will get no response to Commander Casey. It clicked and went through. It just, you didn't get a response.
Prax to Lieutenant Bedin.
And back at the, we'll head back into the swamp. Wagner, you and Bedin are probably near the edge, probably just coming to the edge of the swamp when you hear your comm badge crackle. And a few moments later, Bedin, you get the communication from the captain.
Captain, is that really you?
Lieutenant, what's your status? Where is Commander Casey?
Commander Casey is, well, missing, Captain. I'm Lieutenant DeHaas as well. Right now, it's Lieutenant Wagner and I who are trying to find a way out of this swamp.
You're in the Black Swamp?
I assume so, Captain. We're in a swamp.
There's an entity in there that people here seem very afraid of. If not, wish to kill it. They believe it's responsible for the creation of this realm, this pocket dimension.
That would explain a lot.
Well, Captain, we may have some information that might be of interest to you and the people here.
For now, let's keep it between us, Lieutenant.
Well, Lieutenant Wagner and I may know of this entity that you speak of. We may have encountered it.
Is it hostile?
It didn't seem to be. Quite honestly, Captain, it seemed to be tired and old. But with that said, there seems to be some strange effect going on in this swamp. Commander Casey seemed to have wandered off willingly almost, and Lieutenant Haas was taken by the swamp in a state of extreme despair. Lieutenant Wagner and I don't know exactly what is causing this effect, but that effect seems to be very dangerous, Captain.
Well, it goes to add to the list of strange things that this place has. And Prax on the other hand will motion for the servant to grab a map. Do you, Lieutenant Wagner, judging by I'm assuming you figured out by the stars your at least coordinates.
I think we are close to the lake at this point, at the edge of the swamp, Captain. It
Prax
would
is
be
gonna
more
try to circle in here where they might be at.
Yeah, there's only the one swamp, and there's only the one lake next to the swamp. It is clearly marked on the map.
Could I give them sort of directions to get to the city?
Yeah, I will give you a presence con roll. I'll make it a difficulty 2, and you can be assisted by Wagner.
Am I also rolling presence con or?
Wagner, I'd probably have you roll insight con.
Okay.
Insight or reason con.
I'm gonna spend a momentum.
I'll make it a difficulty 2. Gain it back. So yeah, you try to explain the positioning and how to travel there, maybe the location of a road, and Wagner being pretty good in navigation because con officer, high con. You think you know the direction of where to travel next.
Okay. I think I know the way to go, Captain. Thank you for the directions.
Be safe, you two. Prax out.
And then Ben and Wagner, I assume you're just probably going to head to the city.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, we'll stay with Captain then. All right, Captain, what do you do next?
Sort of disabled the device a little bit and then take the communicator and kind of hold on to it. Like, make it to where it's not usable.
Okay. Since you built it, I don't think you need to roll or anything. You could probably just take out a wire or something.
And, yeah, go back to your room and change into your uniform.
Alrighty. And then what after that?
Find Kesri and then go steal a horse. Or 2. Probably 2.
Okay. So are you going to try to be sneaky finding her or busting in, kicking doors down?
Probably ask one of the servants, have you seen my daughter?
Give me a presence command if one.
Persuasion for a focus.
Yes.
Take a threat. Rerolling comp.
Gain 2. Yes, of course. Right this way, Mom. And small talk, small talk, small talk. She brings you into a probably where Kesri has been staying. It's very much a fairy tale child's bedroom. Toys strewn about, Kesri playing. Probably a single guard outside the door. Lets you pass in, no problem.
Is it just the one entrance?
There's the door and then a few windows. You're probably on like the 3rd floor.
No jumping. Unless there's hay at the bottom.
There could be for the 2 momentum.
I think a fall from that high would probably still cause bodily injury, so...
I mean, I have another idea in mind, but I can't say it.
Is there a lot of bed sheets?
Yes.
Gonna start tying bed sheets together to make a rope. So we're gonna play a game. Give me all the unmake the bed.
Alrighty. I'm just trying to speed up a little bit since it's 10 o'clock. Fitness security. I'm assuming you're going to climb down off of the rope. So yeah, just a fitness security diff 2.
Yeah, well, she's gonna also have her daughter. That adds any complication.
I'm going to spend threat for that complication.
Okay.
But yeah, diff 2, comp 2.
Take a threat. 2 momentum. Oh my god, please.
When you need the rolls, they are sucking.
No. So, see, can I succeed at cost and take an injury?
Yeah.
Well, not take it, right? Take fall damage, essentially.
Yeah, no, I have something in mind. So you and Kesri start climbing down on the ropes of bed sheets. Given that these are a fine silk bed sheet, you find them to be rather slippery. As you try to slide down, your hands start to slip. Before you fall, you're able to kind of wrap your arm, your dominant arm, whichever one's your dominant arm, into the bed sheets, stopping your fall. But you kind of feel your shoulder pop out of socket a little bit. And now you are hanging there probably between the first and second floors with a very painful shoulder injury and your daughter hanging on your back, trying to hold on to not fall.
Oh, that wasn't the roll to get all the way down?
Well, oh yeah. So after that takes care of the complication. You are able to kind of slowly move your way down off the rope. Using your other arm to kind of slide down, keeping your dominant one, keeping the weight as you're just slowly moving down. You kind of shimmy your way down to the ground. But your shoulder is in a lot of pain, so anything physical will have a +1 complication range. Anything having to do with your arms.
And now to steal a horse or two.
All right, as luck would have it, you do let down close enough to the stables. But you do notice that there is a stable attendant tending to the horses.
Good sir, thought I might take a ride here with me and my daughter. Is that permitted?
Are you sure the king has permitted this?
He's been mostly gracious on everything so far. I'm sure he won't mind. It will only be for an hour.
Presence command diff 3. Because he's not buying it. I love Fraser.
Okay. I have 2 citations of conspicuous gallantry. I am going to use that again because I'm going to give you 3 threat. Persuasion for a focus.
Yep.
Re-rolling the complication.
Technically, it wasn't a comp because this was persuasion and this wasn't a physical thing.
I still have that on 2. But I still need to re-roll 1 anyway for 3, so...
Yep. Got it. Are any of those looking for 8 or less?
Yeah, hold on.
So you have 4 successes.
And you still get the threat.
Yeah, you say 4 successes, so you gain 1.
No, that's
Is that-
Starcross. The Galaxy is for the threat, so it's
Oh, the
it's
threat
still
thing.
just
Okay,
3.
never mind. So it's just 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I suppose the king did allow the young missus here to ride this morning. I'm sure it'll be fine. Just be sure to have the horses back.
I will do.
And yeah, he helps you up the horse.
Yeah, and assuming Kesri gets a horse of her own, and we're going to trot off outside the city.
All right, I'm gonna make you roll for riding on the horse. This is probably going to be a control con. This will have the increased complication range because you have to use your arms to steer.
Okay.
I'll just make it a diff 1, however.
I'm trying to gain momentum for us, so I give you a threat.
Gain 1. And yeah, you ride off through the city, and I'm assuming into the forest.
Yeah, towards the directions I gave Wagner,
Okay.
hoping to run into them.
And then we will head to Wagner and Bedden, who has been traveling down a nice, very serene, wooded roadway. Like a dirt road through this very serene, gentle forest. The whole fairy tale, birds singing, deer running across the road. Small little wood chops running around gathering their nuts for the winter. Very serene and idyllic.
Well, this is certainly quite the change.
Is Wagner here?
Oh, sorry, I think my mic.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. Ben was just trying to create some conversation. So GM, if we look down, I guess either way on the roads, do we see anything?
Yeah. In the distance, you see 2 horses speeding towards your direction.
I will wave at them.
And as you get closer, you notice a Starfleet officer and on one of you see a Starfleet uniform donned on one of the persons on one horse and looks to be a child on the other one.
Oh, looks like the captain may have just found us.
Yeah.
Ben will start waving his arms above his head, trying to get their attention.
And eventually, Captain, you meet up with them.
Pulls back on the reins a little bit to stop. Lieutenants, it is good to see you.
Likewise, Captain. You'll look at Kesri. Looks like you both are in one piece.
We definitely fare better than you have.
Mommy, how come they don't have horses?
Unfortunately, we can only took into two, which means you need to hop off the horse and hop on mine.
Are we going to go back to the king now?
No, we're gonna pay a visit to this being the two of you would think you ran into.
But you promised them you'd have the horses back.
The horses can find their own way back. They're smart creatures.
But Mommy, I like it there.
Sweetie, we're about to go meet the being that created this place.
But I don't want to. I want to stay in the castle.
Sweetie, we can't stay here forever.
The presents commendeth too.
It's my own kid.
But she loves it here.
I realized that. No complication range increase, right?
No.
Take a threat. Alright, rerolling into a complication.
Gain one. That would be great. Yeah. Okay, Mommy. And she'll get off the horse and climb onto yours.
She'll help her up on her good arm. Seeing that her shoulder is still out of socket.
Before Bedden knocks the child out.
Yes, before Bennett does physical harm to her daughter. It's a long walk back. Sorry, Lieutenant, you're gonna have to share.
Wagner, do you know how to ride one of these things?
All right. I will mount up, I guess.
Someone doesn't like horses.
It's never been around one. Super suspicious.
That's all right. Lieutenant Commander, I also prefer my modes of transportation without minds of their own.
It's Bedden will gingerly get up on the horse behind the lieutenant and take back seat.
Alrighty, and where are you off to?
Lieutenant Wagner, could you please guide the way to the being you encountered?
Hi, Captain. When we get to the swamp, I would advise to keep a positive frame of mind. Near as we can tell, it seems to have the ability to amplify and then prey upon negative thought patterns.
Noted.
Alrighty. We'll speed up plot. Head back to Swamp Thing. And Prax, you get to experience the full extent of the horrors of the swamp. Having to fight off the depressive nature of it, trying to stay positive and happy. But eventually your group makes it back there. And you find that the turtle is asleep as you approach.
This is the being.
It is.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Oh, go away.
If you don't mind, I require your assistance. If you would be so gracious.
What do you want now?
Are you the entity that created this pocket dimension?
I suppose I am.
Six of us do not belong here, and we would very much like to return home. Two of our companions have gone missing in the swamp, taken by it. If you don't mind, I would like your help in getting them back. And then hopefully you'll grant us the ability to get back home so that we may never disturb your slumber.
The only way out of here is for me to collapse the whole thing.
And you wish to remain here?
It is safe. It's not a bad place to live.
Others would say, think differently. The people in the kingdom of Rizna?
They are of no concern to me.
Well, every time I read it, I pause from the book that you've created. Well, it forces them to relive every moment over and over again. It's quite troubling for the other creatures that you've created in this realm.
And how is that my concern?
It will be, because at some point they may come and hunt you. Your own creations.
There are things out there far worse than anything in here. No, I am safe.
And even as we talk, my people are trying to find a way into this pocket dimension, which, as if you say, could also potentially collapse it. Surely there must be another way. And to get my people that are in here out.
Give me presence command diff 3, Captain.
Take a threat persuasion for focus.
Yep.
Spending 2 momentum, just in case. Ooh, that's a good
Gain
roll.
2.
Like it.
Yeah, finally. There is one way. I could get us all out, but I need something in return.
And what is it you need in return?
You must protect me from those that wish to destroy me.
Who are those that are trying to destroy you?
A race of foul beasts who have destroyed all of my kindred.
Do these foul beasts have a name?
Trying to check my notes. Hold on. They call themselves the Hylic. A foul beast of a race.
With powers as great as yours?
They hunted and preyed upon my kindred. With tooth and fang. They found my kindred on our planet and nearly destroyed us all. I am all that remains of a once proud species.
And if you collapse this pocket dimension, what would happen to the others that reside here, the creatures that you created?
They will disappear with the dimension.
Your creations managed to pull us into this pocket dimension by reading a phrase from the book in which you've created it from.
Yes. Their king is a fool.
So the mystic that he is tasked will not be able to open a portal.
I am sure he can try. As to succeed, I don't see how.
With such power as you have, would you not be able to transport all of us to a nearby world? There are believe, Lieutenant Wagner, there are a couple of Class M planetoids nearby, uninhabited.
I will name the 3 closest if I can.
The only place I can get us out is from the book. But once I am no longer here, everything here will collapse. And only those that are meant to exist outside of this pocket dimension will remain.
And there is no other way.
Not that I know of.
I was able to get my communicator to work, but I have to use a crude method to get for it to be powered. Do you have the capability to restore that?
I can weaken the shield for your communicator to function.
Would be most grateful if you could. So I may contact my ship.
And you hear your communicators crackle back to power.
Commander Krim, what's your status?
Well, Captain, we're still working on penetrating the barriers. Fortunately, we haven't found anything that works yet.
Are you able to get a lock on with the barrier is currently weakened enough for us to get a signal out by the entity who created it? Are you able to get a lock on us through the transporter?
It's not much of a lock, Captain. It'd need to be lowered further.
She kind of looks at the entity. Are you able to weaken it a bit more?
To what end, Captain?
We have a capability to transport others from one place to another by a form of matter to energy conversion. If the barrier is just weak enough, we would be able to squeeze through the barrier without destroying this world and then you can strengthen again to keep yourself safe.
Presence command if 2.
Take a threat. Persuasion?
Yep.
I'll let it stand. I'm not going to fish.
One second. Yep, perfect. Captain, You hear Krim say over the communicator, "We're able to get a lock now."
We're able to lock on to Commander Casey and Lieutenant DeHaas.
Yes, Captain.
I'll keep the book safe for you.
So be it.
Thank you. Commander Krim, 6 to beam out.
And you all find yourself in main engineering with Casey and DeHaas kind of being like, what just happened?
Well, the 4 of you sneak something horrible like you've been through a swamp.
You do now too, Captain.
It's true. I think some sonic showers are in order. Oh, where's the book?
You see it in a, like a little containment thing in the middle of engineering here.
Yeah, she grabs the book, makes sure it's in the containment, and then takes it with her.
Anything else anyone would like to do before we close out tonight?
Wagner will look at Casey and DeHaas and say, I'm glad you two are all right.
They look at you kind of puzzled, be like, what just happened?
It's a bit of a long story. We can fill you in after some sonic showers. I think my stink has stink.
I agree, Wagner. Let's get some showers and wouldn't mind having a drink.
Alrighty. If there's nothing else, I think we will call that the end of Window to the Universe. Part 2.